Hey everybody, this is Tim Shorts of Gothridge Manor, and today I'm doing sort of an unboxing. My good friend Robert Conley completed a successful Kickstarter last year, and he is sending them out. He sent out the links a couple days ago, and so people can order their hardback, softback, and then the 18 maps and stuff. We met tonight, and I got mine already, so I got something you don't right now. But I kind of wanted to just, it's not going to be a review, just showing off, I guess. I'm just showing off that I got these already. This is the paperback edition of Into the Majestic Fantasy Realms, the Northern Marchers, whole campaign world with everything in it. Here's the cover of it. This is Bat in the Attic trade dress. You've got a beautiful Rob Conley map on the outside, and then you've got some cutouts in there. That's the artwork's done by Richard Luschek. And then the coat of arms around the border, which is standard, that Rob's been doing for years and years. And then in true Rob fashion also, he has included beautiful color maps of different things. There's Castle, I turned to Castle Black March right there. Look at that. Nice artwork. And all the maps that are within the book are also, you can buy separately, so you can have them for the table. He has player maps and DM maps for each one. So here's, what's this one? This one is Suzdal, I believe is the name. Another beautiful little color map. Real easy to, gosh, if you can't run a campaign out of this thing, I don't know. I don't know what you need. I don't know what you need at that point. The way I like to describe this book, this campaign world, is imagine, almost like, what is it, the Winchester Mansion, where there's all those secret passageways and hidden stairwells and secret rooms. And there's just so many cool nooks and crannies with cool stuff in them. So imagine waking up every morning and finding a new place to explore and to research or just kind of find out about this. This is what Rob's done with this. It's a lot of fun. It was fun editing it too. It was even though it was a big book, it's the biggest book I've ever edited and that. So here's the hardcover edition. So nice hardcover. All this is through drive-through. If you didn't get in on the Kickstarter, I believe it's available on drive-through right now. I'll try to remember to put a link on the show notes and everything. And he has filled it with different types of art. A lot of it is from Rick Hershey, who is one of my favorite artists. He uses Richard Luschek, who is, I believe, one of the original Harn artists. He does a lot of the covers for him. Amazing job. He has the stock art. He goes to the Forge a lot because the Forge has some really interesting stuff. All the maps are done by Rob, and there's different kinds of maps that he's included in here to make things a little bit more. So you have like your city maps, you've got your regional maps like this one, and then you have like city and town maps and whatnot. And then here are some of the maps, guys. I forgot what the measurements are on these ones, but I'm not going to be able to, they're not all going to fit on the screen, but let's see here. These are double, like there's two maps on this one. So he kind of told me that he would probably cut these, but it's just cheaper to get the, so you got Castle Westguard on this side, flip it over, and you have Suzdal. That was the same one in the book, and these are I think these are the GM maps, yeah, because they have the legend on there and everything like that. So when you order these, you also get these maps too. These are the maps. These are the player maps, so they're blank. The ones you can kind of throw on the table and go from there. To tell you the truth, I would even throw the DM maps. I don't think there's much. I don't know if there's secret stuff on there or not, but they're both very good. You have that version. I want to show you one of these maps. This is, yeah, these are more of his. Okay, let me show you the overall map. The overall map's, you can't read stuff, but this is the campaign world here, guys. I told him he needed to, I told Rob he needed to go order one of those like shower curtain sized like tapestries or something and put his map on it. I don't know. I'll get it close here, guys. See if you can see it. But this is his basically the campaign as a whole. He divides this up into 4 different regions when he's discussing it in the book and everything. But there's plenty of content in there, and Rob's maps are easy to read. Well, it's very tiny font, so maybe not this one. If I get in real close, you can kind of read it. So that's the overall one, and then I'll show you what's. I guess that was the players. So he does have a player's map for that one too. And then one of the sections here, guys, looks like they're new maps, so they're very slippery. So this map right here. Oh, gotta get in the right spot. There we go. So if you look on this map, that's that top. See how that white cap moves? So that's at the top quarter of this map right here. That's what this one is. So you can kind of see it better. So it's broken out and everything. So so the maps alone are valuable. And then he did something kind of interesting here too. So what he did is like because there's 4 maps that kind of combine. So he made an extra map of where all 4 maps combine, so that way you can use that. So you don't have to like whip out 4 maps. You can just whip out this one. Very convenient for that. I believe, and the cool thing about these ones is they shipped them flat. They didn't roll them up and put them in a tube. They shipped them flat. And I think, like I said, guys, there's 18 total maps. So you get player map and then the GM map. So yeah, here it is, guys. Paper or hardback, paperback. Go check it out if you haven't. I'm gonna just do I'm gonna randomly pick an entry, a short entry. I don't want to read it too long and everything like that. But to kind of give you a sample of what to expect with Rob, here's the locales. He's got them separated into different things. He's got layers, locales, and terrain and everything. So here's one of the examples of the locales. We're going to pick this one short. It's Hex 1736, Battle Between Worlds. Good title. A weak wall exists between the world and other planes of existence in the Elven Forest. Here the fabric of reality is torn as 48 elves fight 12 flame demons, treated as 8 hit dice fire elementals. Several dozen more elves are trying to contain the blaze started by the fight. So there's a situation you can walk into, and then it kind of tells you what's going on in this area, of course. And all of this stuff, it's written kind of sort of for his Majestic Waterlands RPG, but it's for anything. And this is all under Creative Commons, guys. Everything, every word. Rob's like that. Rob does that. That's how Rob is. Here's another one. The Village, 1809, the Village of Nixes. The lake floor is covered with piles of rocks and an extensive bed of tall seaweed. The tribe of 80 Nixes, 1 hit dice, live here and are protected by a school of 50 Gars, 1 hit dice. Gars are nasty. Scattered around the seabed are 24 humans that the Nixes have kidnapped and charmed. They work at tending the seaweed until released a year later. Those with strong wills are subdued and sold to Latanya for her larder. Locales 1307. Lodged in a rock pile is a broadsword, +1/+2 versus magic users enchanted. Well, someone could use those against the Nixus, huh? Yeah. And then just to give let's do a terrain entry to give you an example of that also. We'll just pick the short one. The Tav Marshes, Hex 2839. Unlike the Black Marshes, there are not many lakes in the Tav Marshes. Instead, there is a network of estuaries connected by small streams and bogs. The region is largely avoided by the surrounding races due to the evil reputation of the were-tigers that dwell within the swamp. And the interesting thing, or the good thing that Rob does, is he ties everything together. So if these hexes do not exist on their own, they all, interact. There's give and take in between them. There's always something usually going around, and sometimes you have some sort of historical thing going on. Which really adds to the depth of this. So here's one more with a little bit of the history, and it's called the Blood Forest, Hex 0419. Once known as Silverwood, this was the ancient home of the elves in the southern lands. The forest was occupied by the Wood Elves and was ruled by a few noble families of Grey Elves. 200 years ago, the great dragon Arcador, locales 510, led several tribes of orcs, locales 0318. See what I mean? How they interact and how they, you can look to them and see those against Silverwood. Laying waste to the forest, Arcador plundered the treasuries of Silver Hall and flew back to his lair in the White Mountains. Damn it, I always fly back to the mountains. The orcs remained and claimed the forest for their own. Since that time, it has been named the Blood Forest, for the blood that was spilled from the hundreds of elves and orcs that were slain. Much of the old fauna has been hunted down or driven out, and only a few pockets remain, protected by treants. Many wolves, spiders, and other fell creatures now make the forest their home. The Wood Elves made their home in scattered houses and flats built into the trees. Some of these abandoned homes have not been plundered by the orcs. The main settlement of elves in Silverwood was the Silver Halls. Currently, there are 3 tribes of orcs inhabiting this region of the Blood Forest: the Black Claws, the Bloody Fists, and the Death Moons. And then he gives stats on each one of the tribes. I've adventured in Rob's stuff many times through the years. Been in the Blood Forest, so I kind of know about it and know how it works. So it's kind of fun reading all that stuff and seeing it come to life in print like that. So, but yeah, that's what I just wanted to show off my new books that I got from Rob Conley. The Into the Majestic Fantasy Realms, The Northern Marchers by Robert Conley by Batnatic Games, available on Drive-Thru RPG. So that's all I got for tonight, guys. Hope you're finding well. Take care and roll better than me.